one of the things I wanted, people said, well, why did you want to do a movie about a slave? I go, well, I actually really didn't do a movie about a slave. I might do a movie about a slave someday. The character starts off as a slave. I was interested in a slave narrative. I was interested in a story that took place during the antebellum South, and that brutal time, and actually having a black character having to negotiate through that time. But to me, one of the fun things and exciting things about telling the story was to take the Western genre that we know so well and have seen so often, and so much so that, I mean, I love Westerns, but I feel like I've seen every story in a Western ad nauseum a zillion times. So to take that type of Western story and place it in the antebellum South and put a black character at the center of it, all right, and doing the Western cliches, but doing them in the South in a way you don't see, the way the Westerns bend over backwards to not deal with slavery. I wanted to deal with it, and in the place where Schultz stands, Dr. Schultz, is, he is that experienced gunfighter that teaches the know-nothing kid how to handle a gun, how to be a killer, how to take care of himself. But, and that's just a classic trope from Westerns in general, whether it be Steve McQueen as the young guy and Brian Keith as the old gunfighter in Nevada Smith, or if it's Juliano Gemma as the young gunfighter and Lee Van Cleef as the teacher in Day of Anger. All the way to, like I said, Empire Strikes Back, Luke Skywalker and Yoda.
But not to belabor the question, but what is it about Schultz that makes him more enlightened than the other men in this story? Is it because he's a stranger in a strange land himself?
Well, there is that. There absolutely is that. He's actually, as savvy as he is about the West and the bounty hunting game and profession, is as unsavvy as he is about the realities and the cruelties that exist in the South, as far as face-to-face dealing with it. And it's one of the things that actually becomes kind of interesting in the story is in the first half of the story, it is Schultz out operating as the mentor, teaching Jamie how to read, how to do this, and how to draw fast, all the things that you've seen before in Westerns, and it's cool to see a black character doing it. But when they actually get into the thick, when they actually get to Mississippi, and now they're surrounded by the bondage, and they're surrounded by the cruelty, and they're surrounded by the hatefulness. It's Schultz who is caught short. But Jamie's not. Django's not. Django knows this world. He knows it very well. And he becomes the one that helps Schultz negotiate it from that point on. It's a very interesting way of passing the potato. Which